everybody, JC here from Toy News International, and it's time for another episode of TNI Pop Talk. Now for this episode, this is primarily going to be a kind of a P.O. Box type opening video. I've got a box from Big Bad Toy Store I want to open and show you. I've also got a letter from the P.O. Box I'm going to read to you. So that's primarily what this video is going to be about. I do have a couple of news things I wanted to touch upon. Last week I did a video talking about the San Diego Comic-Con Star Wars Black Series figures from Hasbro. I should say San Diego Comic-Con and Celebration exclusives. And I just wanted to update you if you didn't catch it on the websites yesterday, but Hasbro did send out an update saying that the Kylo Ren Unmasked figure, which is a Celebration exclusive figure, will also be available at San Diego Comic-Con, and then a limited number of both that and the Episode 4 Obi-Wan San Diego Comic-Con exclusive will both be available at HasbroToyShop.com in a limited number after the conventions. So I just wanted to touch upon that. Also, still no official word on the Hasbro Marvel Legends exclusives for this year. We've seen possible leaks. I'm sure you've probably seen it with that, for the 6-inch line, that Raft/Vault Prison Break box set. And I'm guessing that's probably legit, even though I don't know 100%. I do expect an official announcement to come sometime, probably this week. Hasbro just tells me soon, but I'm guessing that's going to be this week sometime. Either, it could be as early as today, I suppose, but more likely probably Thursday or Friday. As soon as that news breaks, we'll be sure to report it on Marvelous News and maybe even throw together a quick video. Okay, so now I want to get to opening a letter from the P.O. Box. Again, if you guys want to send in questions, artwork, anything like that, the P.O. Box address is in the video description below. I have it in all my videos. I love to hear from you. I get a lot of questions on YouTube and on Facebook and Twitter even, and I try to answer those as much as I can. But really, if you definitely want to get a question to me that I'll answer, then the best way to do it is to send in a letter. And again, if you have artwork or anything like that, I love to see that as well. So this one comes from Diego Scott. And it looks like he's got some artwork in here. Letter. So let's go with the letter first. What's up, JC? My name is Diego. I'm 18 years old, and one day I'm hoping to get a career in comics or the film industry. My hobby is collecting action figures and reading comics. I don't have a lot of comics. I sometimes buy comics, but I'm so busy buying the figures and watching the movies. I do go onto YouTube and watch channels like Comic Station and go onto Wikipedia to catch up with the comic stories. I would like to ask a few questions. What is a Marvel Legends that you would like to see made that Hasbro hasn't made yet? Well, that's actually, I was thinking about that the other day. I was doing a photo shoot for the Hasbro Marvel Legends 3 1/4 inch Rage figure. I don't know how many of you watching actually are that familiar with Rage. I don't think he's been in the comics for some time, but he was originally one of the members of the New Warriors. He later joined the Avengers, got kicked out of the Avengers because they discovered, even though he looks like an adult, he's actually a kid, so they kicked him out for basically being a minor. But anyway, that got me to thinking about the original team of New Warriors, and one of the characters that I've always wanted to see as a figure is Night Thrasher, the original leader of the New Warriors. And I just loved his costume design. It's a black and red design, and he's got this cheesy 90s gimmick of a skateboard that he keeps on his back. But I always just kind of thought it was cool and just a very cool look of a character. So that's one that I would definitely like to see made, honestly, in either scale, but probably best would be in 6-inch scale. Another one is Darkhawk. Now, we have gotten Darkhawk in the smaller scale, but I would definitely like to see a 6-inch scale of Darkhawk as well. Do you think Marvel Studios should have a stronger storyline and stop killing off their villains so we can see a Masters of Evil movie? So definitely, I don't know if I really would want to see a Masters of Evil movie, but yeah, definitely I think the villains in the Marvel movies get kind of a raw deal. Red Skull comes to mind. When they did the Winter Soldier movie and the Robert Redford character, I almost for sure was that they were going to make him the Red Skull, that like he has aged over the years and basically spent his time infiltrating the government. We've seen a storyline like that in the comics, and I thought that would have been a perfect fit for that Robert Redford character. Let's see. What is a comic storyline that you would like to see adapted to the big screen, and what is some comic books that you would recommend to read. I think the Mutant Massacre storyline, that one, it was a crossover event and primarily focusing on the X-Men, but that was back when the crossovers were less about being a gimmick and more about an actual good story. So that's one I think would be good. And then for Spider-Man, the gang war storyline that they did, which had the Punisher in it, that was a really good story that I think would possibly make for a good movie. Speaking of Marvel, I guess I should talk about, and speaking I guess of gimmicks, I should talk about today they announced the news that apparently Tony Stark is going to be replaced by a new female character. I don't know the specifics. I only have caught basically the headline in this image, but let me know what you think. Kind of like I said, definitely. I mean, I'm all for if you're gonna change a character. I mean, it's not like Jim Rhodes was Iron Man for a long time. That those were good stories. So if there's an actual reason for it, I don't mind it. But a lot of these things just come off as they're doing just to grab the headline. The Hail Hydra last month that we talked about in a previous video. Kind of one of those things, and I was right. I pretty much called it. If you watch that video, I pretty much called what they ended up doing with that. So like I said, I won't make any judgments till I find out more what they're doing here. But definitely, if it's for a story, I don't mind it. But if it's just to grab a headline, that annoys the crap out of me. So let's see, on the back here, wrapping things up. Since you always ask for someone to send in artwork, I decided to draw Batman, Superman, and one of my characters that I'm making a story for. I'm not the best drawer, I'm more of a writer, so they might not look the best. You can check out my channel on YouTube, it's Diego the Man Scott. I make cool little videos, check them out, they're pretty cool. Hope to hear from you soon, peace out. So I definitely will check that out, Diego. Diego's contacted me before on Facebook, but I didn't know he had a YouTube channel, or maybe I missed it. But definitely I will check that out. So he sends in some artwork, so let's see. So we've got Superman here. Got a drawing of Superman. Come up close to the camera so you guys can check it out. And let's see. The Dark Knight. Very cool. Like the background there. And then the second Batman. And then this must be his character that he made up. Namek, if I'm pronouncing it right. N-A-M-I-K. Looks like it has a kind of a Moon Knight-ish look to him. I like the logo. Definitely a nice design there with the logo on that. So very cool. I definitely will check out your YouTube channel, Diego, and I really appreciate you sending in the artwork and the letter and everything. Like I said, I love hearing from you guys that way. Okay, so that leads me to the final portion of this video, and I've got a box here from Big Bad Toy Store. I pretty much know what's in this box. I've been expecting it, but I wanted to open it up for you guys. If you've been catching the channel recently, you've seen I've been doing a lot of Marvel Legend reviews, and I've got a lot more to come. Hasbro's just basically pumping all this stuff out at once, which is cool on one hand, but is kind of a pain on the other because it's definitely hard on the wallet. But I've been reviewed the other week the Space Venom wave, and then this week I've been working on the Abomination, Captain America Abomination Build-A-Figure wave, and I still got some more of those. I've also been doing some of the store exclusives, the Walgreens Punisher and the Walmart Civil War Falcon and Winter Soldier I just posted today. So hopefully you're checking those out. I do appreciate it when you guys check out the videos. Now a lot of you ask, where do I get the figures? A lot of them come from eBay. These figures are hitting store shelves. These aren't leaks or anything. They're hitting store shelves overseas. It's a trend that we've been seeing more and more in recent months, and that these toys are hitting the Asian markets and stuff before they're released here in the United States. So, there are some e-tailers like Marvelous News sponsor Robot Kingdom is an overseas e-tailer, and they get a lot of these in early. They currently have the Falcon and Winter Soldier figures in stock. Now, the downside with these, you get them early, but you got to pay a bit more. They cost just a little bit more in general, and then you also have to usually pay a hefty fee in shipping, at least if you want them fast. If you don't mind waiting weeks for them to arrive, then the shipping's not that bad. But then at that point, you might as well just wait and buy them here in the United States. Anyway, so this particular wave that's in this box is actually started to hit in limited number here in the United States, a la Big Bad Toy Store and a few other e-tailers, but only limited. So most of these places are going to get the majority of their stock for this wave, and it is the X-Men wave. I know that's a wave that many of you, including myself, have been waiting for. Are going to get them in next month, in August. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, you will. It may not be until next month, but and stores as well. I mean, I don't think any physical stores have started putting these out yet, but you should definitely start seeing these in the physical stores next month in August for the X-Men. So that is what this box is, and get my trusty survival knife, and we'll cut this open. We got the big box, the Big Bad Toy Store box, and then we've got our Hasbro box, because it's basically... Be careful not to cut yourself with the sharp knife when you're cutting these things open. Safety message for the day. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 figures in this wave, which I know we've all seen. This is one of the popular ones, I'm sure. Deadpool, Havoc, Modern Havoc, Kitty Pryde. This is one I've been waiting for, not just for Kitty Pryde, even though I do like this Kitty Pryde because I think it's a nice update to the Toy Biz one, which really had an ugly face. But also we get the Magneto Onslaught style head for our Onslaught Build-A-Figure. So I've really been eagerly anticipating that. So that's one. Phoenix, can't say this one does a whole lot for me. Definitely this looks better than the Toy Biz Phoenix that we've gotten, but this is just not a character that I'm not excited for. I'd rather see a more modern Jean Grey, like young Jean Grey even. And yeah. So speaking of comic books and Jean Grey, so I did start reading the all-new X-Men when they first started, the young X-Men coming back, Beast pulling them in time. So we had all the young X-Men now in basically today's reality of Marvel Universe and stuff. But I quit reading for a while during the whole Secret Wars stuff, and then I picked up a few issues, and it looks like Jean Grey has disappeared. So did they kill her off again? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section if you've been reading any of those, and let me know what's happened to Jean Grey. They always seem to want to kill her off. Got brown costume Wolverine. So not my favorite costume. I prefer the tiger stripe look, but definitely looks like a pretty nice figure. With this, I like the X on his X-Men belt. He's appeared both ways, but I like it when he has the X on the X-Men belt. Rogue, this is probably one of the most popular, eagerly anticipated figures in this wave. Definitely a nice update to the classic Toy Biz one, which had a very, very ugly face sculpt. Now, I will be honest though, as much as I do like the Jim Lee style of the X-Men, I would have almost preferred a more modern version. I just kind of prefer modern versions of the characters as opposed to older versions. Cable, still kind of prefer my Toy Biz Cable, but this looks like a pretty nice one. Hard to say in the package, but doesn't look bad. And then Iceman, this is another one kind of not super excited about. However, I will say my Toy Biz Iceman recently broke. The waist piece broke, so the legs are no longer attached. So I definitely do need a new Iceman. I would have been nice if they'd given us some ice blast effects with this figure. That's my main complaint about it. But definitely I need a new Iceman, so I guess it's good timing. So, I've got all these X-Men I got to review. I've got still figures in the Abomination wave. I've got Captain Britain yet to review. I've got Wonder Man. I've got Scarlet Witch, which I know a lot of you are asking for. I'm trying to spread out the Civil War reviews throughout these waves and stuff. So I just did Winter Soldier today, so it'll probably be a couple days before I get to Scarlet Witch. I've got, let's see, what else do I have? I've got the Iron Skull in that wave, and then Abomination as well, of course. So let me know, which of these you guys want to see. I can't guarantee I'm going to, do it in the order you say, but if there's one in particular that you all are anxious to see right away, I'll try and get that in the line. I also have the Civil War 3-pack with Spider-Man coming. It is not yet here. It should be here sometime this week. Now, one more thing before I go. If you're checking out my shirt, my attire here, I've got myself a Shartimus Prime shirt, ankle pivot shirt. I know a lot of you who watch this video are fans of Shartimus Prime, so you've probably heard him talk about these shirts already, but I just wanted to bring it up. If you want to, buy one of these cool shirts, he has them for sale. I'll put a link to his store in the video description below. It's also, not only do you get a cool shirt, but it's a cool way to support him. Definitely, it's a good way to help out a YouTuber like Shartimus, and he works very hard on his videos to bring you those stop motions and everything. So that wraps this video up. I will be bringing you lots and lots of Marvel Legend reviews. We've got San Diego Comic-Con coming up in just a couple weeks. We'll be bringing you lots of coverage on the websites as well as here on YouTube, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And until next time, guys, I'll check you later.